Hello and welcome to another update video about Natgas. We take a look at the spot chart first, take a look at our Elliott wave analysis for Natgas, and then we take a look at the futures chart afterwards. Nothing has changed really, unfortunately, since the last update. What happens here is still corrective mess. And so far, Natgas has not provided sufficient evidence that the correction here is over in a wave 2 and that we are rallying in a third wave of a C wave of a larger fourth wave. Yeah, so we still have primarily the perspective that on the Natgas chart here, we bottomed here locally in a third wave on the 22nd of February. We rallied in an A wave. We came down in an overshooting B wave to the downside, all still part of the wave 4, and we are waiting for a rally at some point in a C wave of wave 4. So an ABC structure, an expanded flat ideally, which is evolving here, and ideally we get to $3.20. But so far it hasn't really put in the move to the upside and the momentum that we want to see in this scenario very, very clearly. So it should get about, well, into the region of 320 plus eventually. But I'm looking at the moment at an ABC pattern. This is the primary count, and we do a bit of a deep dive into the lower degree wave count in a minute. Alternatively, if I'm wrong, yeah, then wave 4 was already in here, but I don't sort of see that primarily because it would have been a very shallow wave 4, and we would be coming down in a wave 5 now. Yeah, so this is a wave 5, and we directly make new lows. Eventually, also in the primary count, which is the one that wave 4 isn't finished yet. Yeah, eventually I would still be looking for another low on the Natgas chart. So either way, one more low is still anticipated for Natgas, either directly or after this C wave to the upside, another move down. The reason why I consider such a flat pattern is because they often happen in wave 4, and if wave 4 was indeed over here on the 3rd of March high in that region, it would have been a very shallow wave 4. Therefore, I primarily am looking for an ABC pattern. But what I can tell you is that there is not sufficient evidence that the wave C has started, even though it's showing impulsive tendencies to the upside here, labeled as a wave 1 on the 17th of April, then a wave 2 down in a WXY structure, and we could now rally in a third wave, but an impulse should now start at some point. This here is not sufficient evidence that the wave 2 has bottomed here. This is standard support for a wave 2 between $1.97 and $2.12. Yeah. Standard support. Ideally, we don't want it to break below the 197 level. If it does, it would be a reason for concern that we are indeed in the direct sell-off scenario already. Yeah, I mean, again, no change. What we need to see is impulsive price action to the upside. That hasn't really happened so far. And important would be really that it's holding the 197 level in order to maintain a decent likelihood that we could get that third wave rally. On the micro level, best I can do is really to show you the WXY structure here. Surely that can always extend down further. Then we have another WXY or something. But important here, more important than the lower degree wave count, which will change anyway in a corrective pattern. More important than that would be to understand the key pivots and the decision point. And here, the 197 level is sort of deciding between a rally to at least 320 and new lows. Now let's look at, what was that? That was spot. Let's look at futures. The situation here is very similar. We also talked about this expanded flat in an ABC structure. Alternatively, the wave 4 was already in and we go directly to make new lows, or in my primary interpretation, we have a good chance to make that C wave within the wave 4 before we see another move down. Now, very important here that everything I told you on the spot chart is very much relevant for the futures chart as well. It's just very important to understand that this move up is not clearly impulsive, at least not yet. Therefore, I still have reasons for concern. I haven't labeled the subwaves here any further than a 1-2 setup because this is terribly unclear to me. It could be some kind of a diagonal which is evolving or a high B wave. Yeah, so there's nothing stopping it to say, okay, we had a wave 1 to the upside, this was an A wave, this is an overshooting B wave, and we come down once more and see. That's all happening and possible. Bear in mind, I gave you a trend reversal area here. Price reacted to it, it reversed. We're now in profit based on that trend reversal area. And if we get back into the region, again, it might be another long trade possibility, but the condition is also here for us, to understand this chart, that this chart has more upside potential, that it's holding the $2.2 level. Yeah, a break below $2.02 again here, down there, would invalidate, well, it wouldn't invalidate it, but it would make further upside rather unlikely, because by then we would again break the 78.6 retracement, and any wave 2 that goes below that level and sustains there, that typically means that this entire setup is not going to work out directly, but we will then just need a bit more patience, really, right? So a warning, it would be a warning if price breaks below the 78.6 fib level, but we've talked about that many times. Therefore, on the futures chart, it is the $2.2 level, and on the spot chart, I believe it was 197 exactly. But I will observe that very closely for you. But this move up doesn't look great. Looks a bit like a diagonal or a high B wave. But yeah, the overall situation hasn't changed. Very slow trend change, but really very, very slowly. And it's going to be interesting in the coming weeks. There isn't much more to update. We just need a bit of patience now to see if it can develop that impulsive momentum to the upside. All right, that's my update about Natgas. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.